The Field of 68 opening day showcase concludes from the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with a cross-country meeting between the Summit League and the Metro Atlantic. It is the South Dakota State Jackrabbits against the Merrimack Warriors. Welcome back courtside here in Sioux Falls alongside Rob Doster and Matt McCall. I'm Alex Seinert. Who doesn't love a challenge to start the season? Both the Jackrabbits and Warriors face a different sort of test as they kick off their season here at the Pentagon.
There's no question about it. Last game of the day. How can you stay at home all day and watch basketball all day? It's got to be difficult to play the last game tonight at 8 o'clock tip.
Oh, that's a normal time. That's the thing about it. Like, this is the normal time for a team that's going to be tipping off a basketball game during the regular season. Us sickos are just the ones that do it at 8 a.m.
There you go. Joe Gallo's Merrimack Warriors have done nothing but win since they transitioned to D1 in 2019. What makes them so effective?
Well, it's really impressive what he's been able to do. You just mentioned it, making that transition from Division II to Division I. All of the winning that he's done. It's the style of play. He has a system. Not only does he has a system, he doesn't deviate from that system. You're going to see his zone defense today, and you're going to see this Merrimack team fly around rotations within this zone. We asked him yesterday, said, Coach, do you ever play man-to-man? He said, Matt, in 10 years of being the head coach here at Merrimack, never.
South Dakota State is going to be the antithesis of that, right? Like, they want to throw the ball inside. They want to take advantage of some of the big guys that they have. And we talk a lot about newness and players on the move in college basketball. That's not happening at South Dakota State. Yes, we got a new head coach, Brian Peterson. He was the assistant there for the last 6 years. They have Kalen Gary back. They have Joe Seiler back. They have guys that have developed within this program.
Games coming out of the wire out there in the desert, boys.
South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And it's fun to watch college basketball programs and college basketball teams that feel like a throwback like that.
It is exciting when you have some names on the roster that were there before the season passed. That is the case with the Jackrabbits. Merrimack as well. The Jacks started with a win in this building on opening day last year. The Warriors will be determined to prevent a repeat of that here in 2025. It's Merrimack and SCSU opening tip coming up next.
Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansborough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Welcome back inside the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The nightcap on a 6-game marathon on the Field of 68 opening day showcase. See if we can finish with a bang tonight. The Merrimack Warriors making the long trip halfway across the country from just north of Boston and North Andover to take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits from just 50 miles up the road in Brookings, South Dakota. Good matchup of the backcourts with these two teams. A couple of underclassmen playmakers who will be effective tonight with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, you start with Kavar Kennedy. You normally don't highlight freshmen in openers. There's something different about this guy. Coach Gallo was singing this guy's praises yesterday, saying he's had a 73% winning percentage in practice. That's why he's in the starting lineup, just a flat-out winner. The Philly native has size, length, and athleticism, which makes him such an impact at the top of that zone.
The name to know for South Dakota State is going to be Joe Seiler. There was a little bit of doubt about whether or not he was going to play. He was battling an ankle injury, so So is Kalen Gary. These two teams are a little bit banged up here coming into this game, but Joe Sala can shoot him in. My sources are telling me he's the second best player to ever come out of White River, South Dakota. Is that true?
I can verify that, yes. Sala had 18 points in his collegiate debut on this floor 1 year ago when South Dakota State knocked off a McNeese State team that would go on to win a game at the NCAA tournament. He would love to do something like that again here in year number 2. Expected pro-partisan Jackrabbit crowd tonight, a lot of blue in the audience, and it's not the powdered blue that Merrimack is rocking. Joey Gallo now in his 10th season, getting set to lead this program. They finished second last year in the MAAC. South Dakota State third in the Summit League. They're quick to finish in that spot again.
Alex, I love you, man, but you give away the fact that you're not from the East Coast every time you say that.
I know, it's
the MAAC.
The MAAC.
The MAAC. The MAAC, baby.
It just sounds like I got something in my throat every time I say that.
Good crowd here, man. It's loud.
Coach Peterson, too, meeting with him yesterday. Gave us the old, I don't know if he's going to play. He has got a little bit of his first press conference with the media, Coach. We had to hide who's playing and who's not.
Two guys. We got Kalen Gary and Joe Sala. I asked Kalen, I probably shouldn't say this on the air, but I'm going to do it anyway. I asked Kalen before the game while he was shooting around, hey, man, are you playing? I know you're banged up. And he looked at me like I had 3 heads.
He's a tough kid. And both of those guys, native South Dakota boys. He's going to take a lot to pry him off the floor tonight in the season opener. 4 native South Dakotans in the starting 5 for Brian Peterson. Jaden Jackson, the sophomore point guard, just from the state below in Bellevue, Nebraska. A lot of New England flavor for the Warriors this evening. 3 players from Philly on this roster. We are underway. It is the Warriors versus the Jackrabbits in the nightcap here from Sioux Falls in the Field of 68 opening day showcase. And right off the bat, a turnover. Kennedy throwing one right in the hands of Kalen Gary. Damon Wilkinson there for the basket and the foul. And they will actually not count the basket here as Wilkinson was fouled on the floor. A little freshman moments from number 5 right off the jump.
Yeah, just, a little bit of miscommunication on whatever action they were running. Kavar Kennedy not on the same page as his teammate, but it's first possession of the game. Young player, they'll get it figured out.
They're going to call the foul on Gary in the act of shooting. So it is the redshirt junior from De Smet, just some 20 miles away from Brookings, where South Dakota State is located at the free throw line. There's Joe Gallo, now in year 10, in charge of his alma mater. Gary able to get 1 of 2. Merrimack, such consistency in the coaching ranks. They've only had 2 coaches in the last 46 years. Gallo taking over for his mentor, the legendary figure of Bert Hamill, who retired in 2016. Here is Andres Marrero, who's from Venezuela, off the mark from deep. Marrero coming over from La Salle this last year.
It's mainly first look at the I think you would call it a 4-1 zone, Paul. Run them off the three-point line. Don't let them get threes up. That's not what you normally expect
Watch
out of
the
a zone.
activity, though. Watch the hands on every single catch.
That's what they want right there. They want to get they want the ball to go to the high post, and then they have their wings diving down as the big runs up, and they're trying to steal that pass as you make that high-low pass.
There's nothing easy. They're so good at closing gaps, taking away three-point shots. A lot of coaches that play zone are okay with giving up contested threes. Coach Gallo, they don't even want to allow three-point shots to go up.
They were the best defensive team in the MAAC last year. Was that better? Rob, was that better for you?
Good.
Ty Dorsett getting to the rim.
We got in the MAAC, and we got a kid from my town over here opening the score with a layup. Ty Dorsett.
Mount Laurel, New Jersey's finest. The second best player to come out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Coach Gallo said he was the most complete player on this team. So impressed with Dorsett and what he's able to bring to the table.
Just knows how to play, man. That's what it is. He makes the right pass. He can get to the basket if he needs to. Shoots it a little bit. And he's longer than I thought, too. When he was out here yesterday, I didn't realize quite how big he is. 6'3", 6'4", pretty long arms.
That is one area where the Jackrabbits do have the advantage. Nobody in this Merrimack starting five over 6'7". Although in this zone, that mitigates some of that. Here is Jackson. Wilkinson on the offensive glass. Joe Gallo talked about how we're going to get killed on the glass tonight. We know that, but we need to balance that out with forcing turnovers. They did a good job of that so far.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He felt like if they could be +6, +7 in the turnover margin category, understanding, hey, we're going to give up some offensive rebounds. And with the way that they play on defense, the flying around, the taking away the threes, you give up some drives. On those drives, the Jackrabbits are going to shoot runners. They're going to shoot tough twos. Merrimack's going to give up some offensive rebounds in those situations.
Last season with much different personnel, Merrimack last in the MAAC in terms of rebounding margin, -12 a night, but they were first in the league in turnover margin and turnover to assist ratio. Those are the margins you play as Dorsett steps back and knocks down the triple. New Jersey, baby. 5 already for Dorsett.
And as silly as it sounds, it's really important for them to score so they can get into their press. That's how you kind of build these runs, and that's how you can snowball when you play against a team like a Merrimack. Because they'll speed you up, you force a turnover, you get an easy layup, then you get back in your press, you force another turnover. So being able to build buckets into stops is something that's really important for them to be able to kind of get this thing going. That's what they want. They want to go on those runs. The 8-2s, 10-0s.
Turnover there by Marrero, who had stepped out of bounds in front of the Jackrabbit bench following the jumper from Jaden Jackson.
Yeah, Marrero is a guy that's really important for this team. You look at 2 years ago at LaSalle playing for Coach Dumpf, was a huge piece of that team. Didn't play nearly as much last season as Coach decided to go with a little more youth, but he's a guy that can drill shots from behind the three-point line, an experienced guard.
Jackson again on the drive, finding Matthew Moores. Now Gary, 5 to shoot. The step back three, too strong.
And we're going to talk a lot about this zone throughout the course of the game, but just watch the activity on the bench when Merrimack's on the defensive end of the floor. Everybody's up. Everybody's hands are up.
I was about to say the same thing, man. We talk about communication on the court. There was more communication coming from that bench than I think any bench that I've seen in a long time. They are into it.
And here's the biggest key for the Jackrabbits. You can't overthink offensively. You'll drive yourself nuts trying to overthink against this zone. Run your stuff, know where you want to get the ball to, and go out and execute. Because if you do that, if you don't do that, you're going to play frustrated offensively all game long.
That was Todd Brogna a moment ago, picking up his second personal after missing the three. Brogna, the 6'7" junior, who played for Stonehill the last 2 seasons. That is Jackson now, knocking down the tray from the wing. 5 early ones for the former Nebraska Player of the Year. South Dakota State, the early 2-point advantage. Jackson came off the bench to great effect last season for SDSU. Started a couple of games. On the other ends, Ernest Shelton off the mark. Let's look at Trey Buchanan out there, the Iowa transfer, number 0 for South Dakota State. Moores down low. Alex Squires, a local kid who redshirted last year. Jackson on the drive. And Squires all over Shelton this time. Called for the foul. 4 minutes gone here in the first. South Dakota State and Merrimack. 2-point contest early on here in Sioux Falls.
For over 75 years, Merrimack has been on the rise. Innovating, growing, serving, and winning with unstoppable momentum. Join us and we'll shape the future together. Together we can. Together we will. Together we rise.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make $1,500 first bet offer today.
And that's such here at the Pentagon this evening. The Sioux Falls, South Dakota Little League team that made it all the way to Williamsport this year and finished 4th in this summer's Little League World Series, being recognized on the courts. South Dakota State with the 2-point advantage over Merrimack in the early stages.
Standing ovation for the Little Leaguers. That had to be exciting for this town when they were making that run.
It's a big source of pride around here. You see a local team make it on the national stage. It's a small state. Don't let Rob Doster fool you. There are not that many people in the state of South Dakota.
I'll tell you what, they got some good food in this town, though. I mean,
They do.
yeah, I got to break in our last game and enjoy some of that while you guys continue to work.
My sources told me that you rolled over there, got 3 of the sliders, you took all the patties and the bacon off of it and just ate the patties and the bacon of the sliders and wolfed it down in like a bite and a half.
Some really, really solid meat there.
Not a lot of people, but great beef in South Dakota.
I just felt like coming back on air having to eat, had those jalapenos. I don't know if I could be able to talk.
Here's Marrero now. Dorsett 10 to shoot.
Now Laurel.
Ty Dorsett, that's another second triple of this first half.
Listen, where we're sitting, we're very, very close to Merrimack's bench, and I heard Coach Gallo as the ball was hopping around the floor there. That's great basketball, and it ends in a 3-point shot.
Here's Jackson in the corner. He has been South Dakota State's main source of offense in the opening 5 minutes.
Should we just let them play one-on-one?
8-8 right now between those two. A couple of free throws from Gary and Wilkinson, the only others to score for either side. Jackson 2 of 2 from behind the line. Same story for Dorsett. Marrero couldn't get Jackson to bite. Casey Ugokazi getting the shot up over Squires and will head to the free throw line. Ugokazi, the 6'8 junior from Boston, spent the last 2 seasons at East Texas A&M.
He's just a big physical guy, as you can see there. He's able to get the ball on the inside, get to his spot, find a way to get to the free throw line, but a physical presence he will be for sure in the MAC.
Joe Gallo told us he is the prototypical Zone 5. Not massive, but yes, athletic, 6'8", can move, can get where they need him to go.
And you'll see, too, those 5 men in this zone, they anchor the zone, being in the back of it. And any time the ball gets to the high post, it's their job to step up. They have to work so hard to take away that middle of that zone.
This is the quintessential, when you think of Merrimack basketball, this is the lineup that you think of. We got 2 under 6-foot guards. We got wings and Ty Dorsett and Ernest Shelton, who are both about 6'4", 6'5", and you got a 6'7" athletic monster at the rim. This is what Merrimack basketball is right here.
South Dakota State going to their bench. A couple of new faces out there, including Buchanan, who's got the basketball. Wilkinson, nice feed. That's on big to big is Caleb Delzell, the 6'9" graduate student who came over from D2 Upper Iowa, in on the basket.
Here's another big key for the Jackrabbits, just when you catch it, and especially when you catch it in the middle of the zone, because there's so much pressure coming, you have to stay poised. Understand where your outlets are.
Open look in the corner. This is Malik Edmead, who will pass it up and drive. Wilkinson there on the rebounds. Able to get that to Luke Hurdle, who was also playing Division II in the Northern Sun Conference last year for Winona State. Delzell, one too many passes. Good job by Ugokazi to break it up. Warriors in transition. Oh, man. Kaver Kennedy keeping his balance and finishing on the step through.
This guy is a special player. There's a reason. We talked about it in the open that He's in the starting lineup. 73% winning percentage in practice.
Buchanan tripped up on his way to the rim.
We were asking these guys yesterday at practice, especially the new guys, how hard is it to learn this zone? How hard is it to figure it out? But when you have some retention, you have some guys that already know it, and they can help coach you on the sidelines. It's a little bit difficult in the beginning, but this is something that they've been working on since June.
Wilkinson, offensive foul, got the hook arounds. All of the Warrior players we talked to said the first 3 months were a little rough, trying to get the handle on what the zone was all about. But then it clicked. And they've really taken to it here, a great opportunity to show what they've learned on opening nights in a very pro-Jackrabbit crowd. Here was Shelton baseline. Free throws on the way.
Nice simple action there, a little flare action. Catches it, reads the defense, drives the closeout. It's a good basketball play.
They run really good stuff, Merrimack does.
Yeah, so
a lot
much
of spacing, get a paint touch, kick it out, move the ball.
So much attention is put on the zone, and rightfully so. And we talked to Coach Peterson, how long have you been working on this? And he said, to be honest with you, when we started practice, fall camp, we put it in ourselves just so we could play against it. They're prepared to play against it. They know what they want to try to do, but you're right, Rob. I mean, we talk so much on the defensive end of the floor about Merrimack is how unique it is and how they play, but Coach Gallo really runs great stuff offensively.
Merrimack now back in front after Shelton knocked down both free throws. Shelton originally from Philadelphia, part of the Father Judge program that's been a powerhouse in the Catholic League there. Seiler back in the game. Delzell, good find. Wilkinson, patience, basket and the foul.
That's the risk with the way they play. That's the risk. That's what they're willing to give up.
And it's so much is on your 5 and 4 men in the middle of the zone, catching and making the right play. You have to make the right read. If the big on the baseline is open because the rotation is late from Merrimack, can you make that pass just like they executed there?
Damon Wilkinson, the 6'10", redshirt sophomore, same hometown of DeSmet as Kalen Gary. He and Alex Squires going to be asked to do a lot more this season with Oscar Clough, who was such a rock for this team last year, moving on to play for Purdue. It's a lot of production to give up. Clough averaged over 18 a night to go along with 13 rebounds. A walking double-double last year for the big Aussie. He's now a part of the #1 team in the nation.
Yeah, I would say if he's at Purdue, it is a lot to lose.
Aliou Cisse, fresh off the bench, able to finish off the window, back up at 15. Seiler now, this team's second leading scorer last year, finding Buchanan. Delzell in the corner. Kennedy looking to push the pace. This is Edney, the redshirt senior from New York. No second chance opportunity this time for the Warriors. And Seiler threw that one right off of Kennedy. The kickball here. He will step away. 11:44 to go in the opening half. Nothing to separate South Dakota State and Merrimack here in our nightcap from Sioux Falls.
Would you be surprised to find out that the Field of 68 is home to more than 35 podcasts? More than 25 team-specific podcasts that are hosted by the people that know what fans want the most. The Goodman and Humble podcast, the DTF podcast, the A10 Insider podcast, and the Mountain West podcast. But wait, there's even more. The Field of 68 will be launching the ACC Insider podcast this year. Subscribe to this channel and come along for the ride.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, we turn that opportunity into progress through unbiased research, education that empowers, and a community that lifts each other higher. SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're leading with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
As one of the nation's strongest financial organizations, First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card have the strength to do good. We support nearly 700 organizations and nonprofits. Our employees give more than 30,000 volunteer hours annually. And we are continually seeking ways to make South Dakota an even better place to live. It's the Premier way. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card.
Clinton, Iowa's own Brian Peterson, now in year 7 on staff at South Dakota State, elevated from assistant coach under Eric Henderson to head coach now in 2025. Former JUCO national champ at Kirkwood Community College. All business, Robbie's all business.
Yeah, he is all business, and you look at the coaches that he's learned from: Fred Hoiberg, Greg McDermott. He's learned from guys that know how to win, guys that coach at a high level. Eric Henderson. And I think you kind of see that in the way that they play, in the style that they play, in the offense that they run. It's hard to see it right now because we're playing against something a little bit different than what they're going to see all year long. But this is a good program and a well-coached program, and he's a very big part of that.
And he's had a front-row seat for this program the last 6 years and all the success that they've had. 4 conference regular season championships, 2 conference tournament titles, 2 trips to the NCAA tournament. He's been right there. Yes, he's sliding over 1 seat. It's a different level of responsibility, but he's called ball plays before. He's been a head coach before, so he's prepared for this opportunity.
Peterson the last couple of seasons was coaching the defense and the guards. His Jackrabbits turning it over and nearly allowing Cisse to get free. The track back by SDSU. Warriors forcing a couple of turnovers here. This zone. Make chaos, right? That's the theory, as Moores is able to spin but cannot connect.
It's chaos and then shots like that. That's playing into Merrimack's hands. That's what they want you to do, taking difficult 2-point shots. But the turnovers, to your point, 6 points off those turnovers already in this game for Merrimack.
Cisse tried to get that to Ed Mead. Buchanan, the redshirt freshman, able to get in the passing lane. Jaden Jackson coming back in, 8 points so far for the sophomore to lead the way for SDSU. Starting 5 now on the floor for Brian Peterson once again. 5 to shoot. Edmead right to the rim. Moores was there. Flying over from the backside for the swat.
Moores is an interesting story, man, because he was one of the most storied South Dakota high school basketball players of a generation. And he went to Wisconsin, redshirted, didn't play. And then came back. Jaden Jackson knocks down another 3 here. And they came here, and he's kind of embraced the idea of just being a role player and accepted that this is what I'm going to be at this level. It's going to help our team win, and I'm going to be the best version of that I can be.
Started every game a season ago, Matthew Moores. 8 points tonight, solid defense, 4 rebounds. Now one of the leaders on this team is a redshirt senior. Matthew from Yankton, just down the road from Sioux Falls. At an hour or so by the Nebraska border. Jackson picking up his first personal. 15th foul on SDSU with just under 10 to play in the first.
Tell you what, going back to that last 3 by Jaden Jackson, if you go back to last season, he was playing some of his best basketball coming down the stretch of the season. Started 3 out of the last 4 games, played over 30 minutes a game during that stretch. He's carried some of that momentum over to the first game of the season here.
And Jackson thrust into that starting role when Owen Larson, who we got a chance to talk to during the Drake game, tore his ACL late in the year. That was a loss that South Dakota State was not able to overcome. They lost a couple of games down the stretch and were bounced in the quarterfinals of the Summit League tournament. Now it took 51 points from North Dakota's Trayson Eaglestaff to make that happen, but still. Another long 3 miss. Jackson in transition.
And he was really just a shooter last season. This year he's being asked to be more of a playmaker and a point guard role, so it's interesting here that we are seeing him be the guy that kind of spaces the floor and knocks him down.
It's Dylan Villette now, fresh into the game, the 6'7" freshman from Connecticut. Personal foul on him. They're back up 5.
The Jackrabbits, David Wilkinson.
Wilkinson back to the free throw line.
One thing I have really appreciated about this entire marathon is the consistency with which our YouTube chat has every single time one of us has said the number 6-7. Just spam the chat with the 6-7.
Here we go.
Every single time,
Here
man.
we go.
Shout out to those maniacs in the chat because they've been relentless with it. I love it.
That's a big three there with the contest in his face. Jalen Stinson able to step into it. The grad student from Philadelphia didn't play all of last year through injury. It's got to feel good to see that one drop.
He's a guy that started for Merrimack earlier in his career, and as the program has reached a little bit of a higher level and moved into a little bit of a bigger league, and he's dealt with some injuries, he's accepted a role, and he's accepted being the, I guess, the old head, for without a better way to phrase it, that will kind of teach the program and teach the defense to his teammates.
Well, Coach called him the most important guy in the locker room because of just what you said. The most important guy in the locker room, echoing the head coach's message. I mean, that's quite a compliment from your head coach.
I mean, every single program needs guys like that are going to say, as you see, again, Mount Laurel's finest over here, getting fouled, heading to the free throw line for 3. That's Ty Dorsett. You need people that are going to be able to put what is best for the program and what is best for the team over everything else. You know, as college basketball moves a little bit towards the professional ranks, there's going to be guys that get paid a certain amount of money that need to accept that their job is to be the 7th man and be a role, to be the 9th man and be the locker room guy. And that's going to be a really valuable piece for a lot of teams as we move forward.
But Rob, have you ever heard the phrase winning is hard?
No, who came up with that?
Has anybody ever told you that winning is hard?
It is hard, and I think that was coined and trademarked by our own Matt McCall. He has a winning is hard headband that he normally wears on the field of 68 after dark.
I should definitely get a T-shirt. I should definitely at some point get a T-shirt. Maybe a hat.
There are 365 Division I coaching staffs, and I promise you that there are a lot of guys on those coaching staffs that would love to rep winning is hard merch. I don't know if their ADs would love seeing that.
Can I get an NIL deal with winning is hard on it?
Done. I got you.
It's Galen Gary just off the mark from deep. Tie ball game, 20-20. Guerrero fouls. 30 feet away from the basket.
Come here.
Bonus now for both Merrimack and South Dakota State for the final 8.5. So this is Andres Marrero at the free throw line, able to knock down the front ends. Marrero from Caracas, as you see Brian Peterson.
You guys know, like, Jersey guys got pretty good children.
There's a fan razzing head coach Joe Gallo right now, and he's laughing at it. He's enjoying it.
I think his line was, "That's pretty good."
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
I'm sure Joe's heard one or two in his day. Lowers the skip outside. Gary. Delzell. This is Buchanan now. 5 to shoot. Jackson to the paints.
That's a tough rebound, man. That's exactly what you need out of that 5. And it's a step up, make that floater difficult, and then go beat out a center for a rebound. It's a hard job to do. But they really like that freshman out of Ridgefield.
Moore's nearly with the strip. Here's Dorsett. Stinson stepped out of bounds. Not for the first time today have we seen someone just drift a little bit too close to the boundary. 7:48 left here in the first. Merrimack with a 2-point edge over South Dakota State.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
If you have a question, I'll take the time.
I love being a pharmacist at Lewis Drug because I love helping people.
If you have a question, any question, I'll take the time to answer it.
If you have a question, any question, I'll take the time to answer it.
I'm Mark Griffin, president of Lewis Drug. For 81 years, Lewis Drug has been helping families stay healthy and enjoy life. If you ever to Lewis Drug.
There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that.
Merrimack from the Boston area, South Dakota State from Brookings. Just 2 points separating these two with 7:48 to go in the first. It is a matchup that you don't see a whole lot. The MAC, it's almost like a sheep, because I think that's why I'm so having a tough time.
You know what Merrimack, they call themselves? MAC. The MAC.
Oh, do they know?
Yeah, the MAC from the MAC.
The MAC from the MAC.
There you go.
But you don't see a lot of these Summer League versus MAC matchups. Good for these teams, though, to see somebody else, see a different style right off the jump.
Well, it goes back to what Coach Peterson was saying, too. They put this zone in when they started practice to play against it. He even said there may be a possession or two. They throw it out there and throw it back at Merrimack throughout the game. But, look, you don't know if you're going to play against a zone like this the rest of the season, but come tournament time, you see a different team. If you're fortunate enough to get to the NCAA tournament, you never know who you'll see, what you have to play against. Very similar feel in the first game of the season playing an event like this.
And the hard part about going against the zone a lot of times is you're so used to playing against man that it just throws off what you do. And if you get yourself out of your comfort zone and just figure out, okay, we're doing something that we've never seen before, it makes it easier to adjust to that if you do see it in the NCAA tournament. So, yes, this probably isn't preparing South Dakota State for the Summit League, but it's going to be preparing you for curveballs that coaches will throw at you within a game.
Buchanan a moment ago stepping on the sideline. The third violation like that we've seen in this contest. Here's Brogna. Pass knocked down by Jackson. Brogna gets it back. Barrero, offensive foul. It's the third on Brogna. What did you see there, Coach?
I'm kind of with Coach Gallo. I didn't see exactly what he did. The referee is trying to explain to him. They extended his elbow on the screen, but it was almost a ghost screen. Didn't really see any contact.
I just watched the replay. He set the screen and backed into the guy as the guy was running past him.
Or eye in the sky, Bob Doster.
Just a jack of all trades.
Giving injury reports.
I'm a reporter. I'm a replay analyst. I'm G's territory.
He's keeping updates on other scores across the country. I mean,
Matthew Moore is fouled on his way. That is the second on Villette now, so 3 on Brogna, 2 on Villette. A couple of the Merrimack bigs in some foul trouble here in the first half.
Coach Gallo was laughing before at the jokes that were getting fired at him from the other side of the court. He's not laughing right now with the way that some of these calls are going. I thought that one was a foul too, though, Matt. No?
No comment.
Coach McCall, the coach is coming out. The coach is coming out. You're putting yourself in Gallo's shoes right now. I see you.
Wars gets them both. Then we are tied back up at 22. Wilkinson back on. South Dakota State 8 Summer League regular season titles in the last 11 years. Only Oral Roberts and Omaha in that league have won the crown in the last decade plus. Merrimack was dominant in the NEC after moving up from Division II to Division I. What? Did I say something? What did I say this time? Right.
No, nothing. I'm laughing. I remember yesterday at practice, a player asked Coach Gallo a question, and he turned around and looked at us and goes, "He's the questions guy." He just had another question out there again.
He's the question asker on the team.
Everyone's got one, Coach.
Everyone's got one. You know, we're sitting here at the tie basketball game, 22 all, 23 all. Shelton knocks down the free throw. And, you know, the two guards for the Jackrabbits, who we were unsure if they were going to play in the game, you're looking down at the stat sheet, combined 0 for 2, just 1 point, nearly 14 minutes into this game.
Joe Seiler has not taken a shot yet in this game. But he averaged 13 a night last year as a freshman.
Neither of them really look like they're moving great either.
Big collision underneath the hoop, opened up the lane for Luke Hurdle, a junior from Heartland, Wisconsin. Happy to lay it in. 24-24. And Seiler called for the bump this time.
Looks like we're going to have a free throw shooting contest here
That's
today,
exactly
Coach.
what we got. The pace in the last game, it seemed like that we had, it went pretty fast because there wasn't a lot of whistles. It's amazing how it just, you know, based on the field. I mean, these are human beings as well. Based on the game's going to be officiated, sometimes you have to adjust how you're playing. You got to give it a little more space when you're guarding the ball. If they're going to call every single hand check, that's what you have to do.
Second personal on Seiler. Marrero to the free throw line. This is the 21st free throw we've seen in this first half.
So Kaveri Kennedy has a wristband on his calf above his sock. You think he's just worried about that sock getting a little too sweaty?
Yeah, he just wants to keep it tight, too. Wants to make sure the sock doesn't fall off. You know, if something happened, you know, with the sock.
Smart. Can never be too careful, you know.
With socks.
The socks, yeah.
Rob, you know what my philosophy always was? You can do that if you're going to wear it in practice. I don't want to see you in the game just bust out a headband that you've never worn.
I was putting bets on that you were going to say look good, play good, but that was
that's me.
Probably better. That's Noster. Jackson
missing that.
4 for 4 from behind the arc for Jaden Jackson. He's got 14 now to pace the Jackrabbits over half their points in this first half.
You got to think, too, when this team gets healthy, with the way that he's starting off this season and how well he's shooting it from behind the three-point line, this is going to be a dangerous offensive team.
Nice move by Gossett to create the space.
It's a nice move.
Nice move.
Wasn't a very nice
that's
shot.
Where it stops, unfortunately. Gossett, though, still the only Warrior with double figures at this point with 10. First miss from behind the arc. Chance for the Jacks now to extend the advantage. Dakota, the NSIC newcomer of the year last year in D2. Jackson, 5 for 5. That's a confident stroke from the sophomore.
But again, as you see, Kennedy getting to the lane and getting fouled. The patience offensively in this possession. You know they're going to fly at you. Can you catch and catch your breath and not panic and try to force something up at the basket? That's a great example of that right there.
Brian Peterson, a great three-point shooter in his day at Kirkwood and then at Iowa State. Started 64 games in his 2 seasons with the Cyclones. Some of that deep shooting carrying over to his sophomore point guard here this evening in Sioux Falls. 17 now for Jaden Jackson.
I mean, who needs Kalen Gary and Joe Seiler when you got Jaden Jackson shooting like this?
He shot at 34% from behind the arc last season as a freshman. How about 100%, 1,000% right now for the sophomore here to open up his second year in Brookings.
That momentum at the end of the year, say it again, it's really carried over to this season for him.
Couple of free throws from Kennedy makes this a 2-point game again.
And here's the thing, too, that you'd love to see with some of these Jackrabbit players is just, listen, there was a coaching change. Their coach left. Even though the assistant coach took over, to see these guys stay within this program is not the norm in today's college basketball.
Second chance for Moores off the hurdle miss. Jackson walked with it this time.
Yeah, the hardest part of playing against the zone is being able to slow yourself down.
Slow yourself down.
Slow yourself down and just get a feel for where you gotta process what the next pass and what the next play is going to end up being. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun to watch him move around. You think playing zone it's the relaxing defense.
Yeah,
like it's the old man
It's
defense.
not hands up Harry, Rob.
No.
It's not hands up Harry.
Yeah, these Merrimack Warriors absolutely flying around in the defensive ends. Off the mark, though, on the other side as Shelton misfires from deep. Just 1 or 2 ill-advised threes from Merrimack in the last couple of possessions. 3 for 10 now from deep. Shooting 35% from the floor in this first half.
You hear Coach Gallo every single time that ball gets to a certain area. When they're in their press, he's yelling home. He wants them to get to home, get to your home spots in your half-court zone.
Delzell, nice find inside. Matthew Moores stripped. Uguakazi coming over the top. Dorsett wins the race and finishes.
That is Merrimack to a T. Create havoc on the defensive end of the floor, get the turnover, push it out on the break, and get yourself a layup. Another points off turnovers.
12 now for Ty Dorsett's. Hurdle. It's a tough finish over Uguakazi. Hurdle spent the first 2 years of his college career at Wisconsin. 1 season at Winona State last year in Minnesota. 17 points a night, 7 rebounds. Making the move now back up to the D1 ranks as Moores is able to strip Kennedy. Matthew Moores inside. South Dakota State on a little run here late in the first.
Really good job at being able to get the ball into Matthew Moores here as you see the replay. Get him in touch, player on his back, feel him reaching, finishing contact, and one.
Big fella.
Era Festival has become the best field in all of college basketball, and you have the opportunity to win a VIP trip to the Players Era Festival in Las Vegas thanks to our partners over at BetMGM. Here's how it works. Opt into the contest and start placing bets on any sport of at least $10 with plus 100 odds or greater. When you do that, you earn leaderboard points based on the bet's odds and the amount that you wagered. The more you bet, the higher the odds, the more points that you earn. The top players in that contest are going to win a prize package that includes tickets to the games, withdrawable funds for travel, a 4-night stay at the luxurious Mandalay Bay here in Las Vegas, and more. For the full list of prizes, look in the description below. Make the tournament legendary with BetMGM. Vegas is calling. You gonna answer?
At NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division II Women's Volleyball Championship coming to Sioux Falls, South Dakota this December. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
South Dakota State shooting 50% from the floor in this first half. 5 of 9 from behind the arc. They have built a 4-point advantage. Matthew Moores heading to the free throw line out of this timeout. Coach, where have you seen them begin to establish themselves here over the last couple of minutes?
Well, I think they're doing a great job executing against the zone. You know, they've had times where they've turned the basketball over, and we see a block shot on the inside that leads to a basket on the other end. But 8 assists in the basketball game. If you're Coach Peterson, you feel good about that, executing against this zone. And on the other end, you're thinking Merrimack, just slow down maybe a touch on the offensive end of the floor. Just 2 assists to 5 turnovers for them.
They've been really good, Merrimack has, when the ball is going back and forth, when they're reversing, when they're attacking, getting a paint touch against the defense that's moving. When they're trying to square you up and go by someone and attack a gap, the gaps in South Dakota State's defense don't exist. They're not going to let you split it. You got to be able to move the ball and get the defense moving. That's when they've been effective.
Moore's able to convert on the three-point play.
And I will say Luke Hurdle has come in and has made a difference here in the last couple minutes against the zone. He's had a couple nice passes. He had the finish over Ugokazi 2 possessions ago.
They're set on the kickouts. Another 3 that does not hit from Kennedy. Jackson transition. Moore's running the floor and gets rewarded. Great pass from Jackson. 37-30. Biggest lead of this half for South Dakota State. How does Merrimack respond now? Ugokazi inside. Good defense by Delzell on the block. Moore's swatted by Shelton. Stinson thought about the 3. Off the hands of Ugokazi.
You think about these last couple possessions, though, defensively for the Jackrabbits. This is something that Coach Peterson talked about. As you see the block here, just the athleticism. But Coach Peterson said, for us to have success in the game, we've got to get stops. We've got to get out in the break. We have to run. We don't want to play against this zone in the half court. That's why they've been able to get this 7-point lead, is they've had some possessions where they've gotten stops. Matthew Moore's doing a good job sprinting the floor and getting out on the break.
Oh, a dangerous pass. Jackson, who is 5 for 5 from deep. Hurdle with 5 to shoot. The fade away. Good contest by Villette.
That's the one you want if you're Merrimack. That's the one you live with.
Here's Dylan Villette. Door set now. Back to the freshman. Stinson with 10 to shoot. Moore's on the tie-up. Jump ball. Possession arrow will favor the squad from Brookings.
Rob, I think you said it a couple minutes ago just in terms of Merrimack's offense. The ball is changing sides of the floor, but it's just too much passing around the perimeter. There's nothing going towards the basket. It's a lot of east to west, not a lot of north to south. They have to get more pressure at the paint and then take those kick-out threes.
Moore's on the baseline. Villette came over, commits the personal. More free throws for Matthew Moore's.
This is the one I think that might be a little justified on. I think that was clean. No? Since when are you going to be nice? Since when are you going to be nice here? Come on, give me the real.
Some contact on the inside. You could see some contact there. Matthew Moore's having a really good first.
Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie,
That's
McCall.
what you said. That's what they say on the missed free throw. But man, there's some good high school basketball up here in South Dakota. When you think about it, Moore's scored over 2,000 points in high school. Obviously, we saw the son of one of the greatest players to ever come out of South Dakota earlier today. Mike Miller, Mason Miller, had his fair share of three-point shots go in. The Murray State Racers.
Well, that was fun to see. Murray State an 85-77 win. And Mitchell, South Dakota native Ryan Miller's debut as Murray's head coach. Mason in double figures for that squad that should make some noise in the Missouri Valley this season. Open look in the corner for Stinson. This one does drop. Just the fourth made 3 of this first half. Merrimack now back within 5. Shot clock turned off.
Now that was a big 3 there for Merrimack, just to have some positive momentum, especially offensively going into the half.
Brian Peterson electing to take the timeout here with 12 seconds left and talk things over.
The old use it or lose it timeout.
That's right.
You got to use it, because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So you might as well use it.
That is the definition of use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it. You don't want to lose it. Let's see what he can throw up here in the timeout. A little after timeout situation for coach, new head coach, sliding over to the seat. Get that dry erase board in here and see what they get. Good looking look here for the last second. It's different. You're drawing up something against this zone. It's not man-to-man where you can run a middle ball screen or some Spain action in the middle of the floor. Wind that shot clock down. Let's see if you can't get the ball to the middle of the zone and know exactly where your outlets are.
Based on what we've seen in the first 20 minutes, you would imagine Jaden Jackson might be the guy they would want taking this shot. He's perfect from deep, 17 points to lead all scorers. Can they get him a look here? This is Hurdle, now Jackson. Kalen Gary. Moores. Tipped up and out, and that will do it for the first half. A lot of contacts on that last opportunity for South Dakota State. Brian Peterson wanted the call. But they will go to the locker room leading by 5, 38-33. SDSU with the 5-point advantage. Merrimack threw some pretty good punches in that first half. Jaden Jackson had the answer for most of them. He's standing by now with Rob.
I got Jaden Jackson here with me. 17 points in the first half, Jaden. How were you able to get it going so good?
Just being shot ready. We knew they was going to come out in the zone and just told our shooters to be shot ready, and I was the hot one in the first half.
How hard has it been playing against that? They're flying around. I'm not sure you guys have seen a lot of that before.
It's a lot. They're lengthy, but it's easy. A well-passed team can beat them, but we're just moving the ball really well in front of our shooters.
You guys are up by 5 heading into the break. What has to happen in the second half for you guys to be able to win?
Mainly just stop fouling because they're living at the free throw line right now, and on the offense end, just keep playing the way we're playing.
Thanks, Jaden.
Jackson, he's been the star in this first half. Shot ready. He has been shot ready tonight.
Shot ready when that ball hits his hand, but he's exactly right. If you're Coach Peterson going into the locker room here, that's the message. We just have to defend better. We have to defend without fouling, especially if you're going to call all the hand check fouls. Give those guys a little bit more space when you're guarding the basketball.
Merrimack 13 for 15 from the free throw line. The Warriors trailing by 5 at the break. More to come here from the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls after this.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app. You sign up using bonus code FIELD. You deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make $1,500 first bet offer today.
We've reached halftime here in Sioux Falls at the Sanford Pentagon. The final game of the 6-day slate at the Field of 68 opening day showcase. Good win brewing here, 38-33. Jackrabbits of South Dakota State with a 5-point advantage over the Warriors from Merrimack. Alex Heinert, Rob Doster, proud now to be joined by the Vice President of Sanford Sports, Mr. Jesse Smith. Jesse, pretty good event here in your building once again this season. You were getting ready for just an avalanche of basketball games coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we sure are. This is a great way to get it started. Again, appreciate you coming out, Rob. We love having you guys here. We love having this event. It's just an awesome experience. A lot of fun for the region, and this year especially with the local tie-ins with the 3 teams we've got, or the 6 teams we've got, with the 3 kind of local-ish teams.
So you guys are heading into your 100th game that you've hosted here at the Pentagon. how did you guys get this thing going? Like, where did the idea for this building and this facility and this complex come from?
Yeah, we had our CEO, Kelby Krabenhoff, when he set out to start the Sanford Sports Division, sort of cast the vision with starting with the Pentagon and wanted to make a place that's specific to basketball. His son Joe played at Wisconsin. He traveled the AAU circuit. He saw the kind of disjointed different cities that they played in, and you got to go from one gym across town to another gym, and he wanted it all under one roof. And so when they sought out to build this place, it was with that in mind, youth basketball first, but also a home to the Sioux Falls Skyforce. And from there, it kind of morphed, like, hey, let's do something cool to start it off. Let's start with a high-level Division I basketball game. And so we started with Wisconsin, St. John's, and we knocked on every door and pulled out all the stops to with the relationships we had to make that game happen. And from there, it's really built, and it's about building relationships, delivering on the promises, and delivering what you tell teams you're gonna put out there for them.
Yeah, this building has been around since 2013 now, and as you said, going on 100 D1 games. That'll take place next Monday with Mississippi State in this building to take on Iowa State.
Yeah.
In your wildest dreams, did you imagine that this would be what this would be?
No, and we've talked a lot about it, about the 100th game. Never in a million years did we think we'd get to this point, especially after the struggles we had just to get one. And then, COVID was not great. It was not great for anybody in the country, but for us, honestly, it was sort of gasoline to the fire. We hosted a ton of basketball during COVID. Our connection with Sanford Health, our parent company, helped sort of design the guidelines and the parameters around hosting those basketball games, doing the testing and having all that at your fingertips, really put us in a unique position to kind of grow, and from there, that allowed us to host.
You had Gonzaga, Baylor in here. You had all these high major teams.
Yeah.
Top 10 teams were in this building that year.
Yeah, it was wild, and so that kind of set it off. It was the gasoline that we needed to kind of take that next step, and now we've got great partners like Field of 68 and being able to do these sorts of events. Never in a million years would have thought it would have come to that, but here we are.
Yeah, my favorite thing about coming to this building is we have South Dakota State playing Merrimack here. We have 3 Division I games, the first day of the college basketball season happening in this building. And if you walk out that door and you walk up that ramp and you look outside that door, you're watching, I think it's like a 12U basketball tournament happening.
Yeah, my daughter's playing out there. Yeah, they're loud. I can hear them.
There's 4 courts around this court where you host games and host tournaments. And when you have the AAU events here, like that's where they go, and then this is where they play the championship. And it's like that's a really cool way to kind of develop this building.
Yeah, and that was the thought behind it was let's do it all here. So we've got 9 basketball courts in here. You can do a lot of basketball on 9 courts. It's great. It's an awesome place. It's an awesome team that we've got here. It's fun to be a part of, and everybody here, we just love basketball, and it's great to see it culminate in events like this.
I have one gripe though. Can I give my gripe? So one of the guys on the Field of 68 with us is named Robbie Hummel. And Robbie Hummel's claim to fame is that he has a picture. He says he has a mural in the Pentagon, but it's like a picture.
It's a picture, yeah.
And he's never done it. Me and Jeff come here for games. Can we get pictures of me and Jeff in here somewhere? That's all I want.
Yeah.
Can we put it over Robbie Hummel's picture?
Sure. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Dosters transition to the groveling phase of the Field of 68 opening day showcase.
Relationships and groveling, man. That's how business gets done.
Whatever it takes.
Jesse, you've mentioned again just how many games, how many high-profile games you've had in this place.
Yeah.
What has that meant to this region? This is a basketball-loving region.
Yeah.
How have you seen this impact basketball in this state, in this
well,
area?
I think it's been awesome to watch the fans embrace it, watch the community embrace it. But like you said, we wouldn't exist without that fan base that's here. You mentioned the 3 games we've had today. There's, not every team's South Dakota State, not every team's University of South Dakota, but the fans show up, and as long as the region and the fans in Sioux Falls continue to show up, we're going to continue to do the games. And so the Iowa State game that we'll host on Monday, that sold out in like 8 minutes, and
awesome.
And that's not unique. That's the sort of the norm with some of these bigger games. We put them out there, they sell out. It's cool to see fans come from all over the country to experience the Pentagon, but we know we need the local fans, and it's awesome that they support us.
Experience is the key word there. Experience, because it is an event, and it is unlike anything else that you're going to go to. Being able to come here.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something we hang our hat on. And I probably said it last year. We don't have the beaches, we don't have the nice weather. We've got cold months and cold winters, but the hospitality of the people in this region, the hospitality of the people in this building, it shows, and the teams recognize that, the coaches recognize it, and we're just very, very fortunate that they trust us to come here and play here, and hopefully we give them a good experience.
Cold winter, but cold beer and good steak. I'm in. You got me, Jesse. I'm in.
All right.
Balances out.
That's easy.
Well, you can see how much people enjoy this, and I think that's something that we have seen. The local people certainly do, but the teams that come in, how many times do you see people say, I can't wait to get back?
Yeah.
These are guys that play all over the country, all over the world, and this is still we had the radio announcer from Northern Arizona, Mitch Stroman, who's been doing this for 39 years, said this was a bucket list place where I wanted to call a game from. Like, that's what you've helped create here.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool to hear. And I saw Rob's interview this morning where he said this is a really unique space. It's a cool space, and to have national media people saying that about the Pentagon it's awesome. Like, it's a cool thing, and it's really neat for the city of Sioux Falls and for the people in this region.
Yeah. Really quick, you've got a number of big games coming up. Why don't you tell people what's happening in this space this month alone?
Yeah, so we've talked about the 100th game. We've got Iowa State playing Mississippi State, two really high-level teams. We're excited to see them. They'll tip off on the 10th. We follow that up on November 15th with the Nebraska men against the Oklahoma. So old Big 8 matchup there. It'll be kind of fun. And then new face at Minnesota with Nico. They'll play San Francisco on November 22nd. So very, very busy month, taking us up to November, right up to Thanksgiving. And then we're here for the rest of it.
I love that. There's some great women's games too. North Dakota State women taking on the Nebraska women as well. Eddie Williams coming back to the state.
Absolutely.
You guys have done a phenomenal job lining those up. Jesse,
Thank
be
you.
really,
Thank
really
you.
proud of the
Thank
work
you.
you and your staff have done.
Appreciate
awesome
that.
stuff.
Appreciate you being here. We didn't get to. Your brother wanted to take my seat and talk about your old playground days where you ran the playground, the old one house school.
It's probably okay that we didn't get to that. That's probably all right for everybody, but maybe next time.
Maybe later.
Jesse, we'll talk about next time. So Jesse Smith, Vice President of Sanford Sports. We're going to get Matt McCall back on in just a second. We're going to break down the opening 20 minutes between South Dakota State and Merrimack. A really good one brewing here inside the Pentagon on night one of the college basketball season.
For over 75 years, Merrimack has been on the rise. Innovating, growing, serving, and winning with unstoppable momentum. Join us, and we'll shape the future together. Together we can. Together we will. Together we rise.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, we turn that opportunity into progress through unbiased research, education that empowers, and a community that lifts each other higher. SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're leading with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that.
Halftime continues here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Heritage Court at the Pentagon. 38-33, South Dakota State with a 5-point lead over Merrimack at the break. Highlights for the first half. A little bit of a choppy opening 20 minutes at times, a lot of fouls. Good pace, though, in spurts. You can see both of these teams showing what they're capable of.
Yeah, and a lot of Jaden Jackson. When you think of this SDSU team, what he was able to do offensively, find his rhythm from behind the three-point line, Good things happen when the ball gets to the middle of that zone. I thought the front court players for SDSU finding the open man, playing with great poise once the ball got in there into the middle. But the message at the half, for Coach Peterson and his fellas, we got to defend without fouling. Merrimack was able to get to the free throw line 15 times, going 13 out of 15 from the foul line. That's nearly half their points.
Yeah, and if you're Merrimack, you got to be able to create offense that's not just getting to the foul line, right? Move the ball, get it going from side to side, attack a gap and kick. And it feels like, we were talking about this a little bit at the end of the first half, Matt. It feels like they're just holding on to the ball for 1 second too long, right? One dribble too long. It's one dribble, make the defense move, and then kick it, swing. You got to pop it. I think it's got to move against a defense that's going to gap you.
That's exactly right. A defense that's going to gap you. It's one less dribble. Once you get to that paint, it's one. Get off it faster. See if you can't put this Jackrabbit team in much more closeout situations in the second half.
You see the numbers. South Dakota State a slight advantage on the glass. They're trying to expose Merrimack inside, where the Warriors will keep trying to turn over the Jacks here in the second half. 5-point ball game, second half up next.
Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansborough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Final game of 6 today on the Field of 68 opening day showcase. South Dakota State, the local flavor, located just 50 miles up the road from Sioux Falls, taking on the squad from just north of Boston, the Merrimack Warriors. Joe Gallo's side is frustrated at SDSU at times. They trailed by as many as 8 late in that first half. SDSU with a little run to push the lead to the largest it's been. Warriors basketball, though, trailing by 5 to open up the second. Todd Brogdon not really able to get going. 3 personal fouls in that first half for the Stonehill transfer. Off the mark on the early 3. Rob, what's something you're looking for from these sides to start the second half?
I mean, we got to see Merrimack be able to run a little bit of more clean offense, I think. Don't just rely on being able to get to the foul line. Don't just rely on having to draw fouls to be able to be effective. And clean up the offensive glass, make a little bit more impact in the paint on that end.
5 offensive rebounds now for the Jackrabbits. Brogna just off the mark. He's 6'7", shot at 40% from deep last year for the Skyhawks. 0 for 2 to start this half, though, for number 20.
You can tell Coach Gallo even coming out of the locker room, trying to get him going. Running a couple actions, run that first action to try and get him an open 3, because 40% is a high percentage. They need to get him going offensively.
Speaking of, Joe Seiler, that's his first shot attempt in this game. The only Oscar Clough scored more for the Jackrabbits last year as Shelton connects on a triple. Merrimack just 5 of 15 in that first half from deep. Able to hit one here, though, to get the lead down to 6.
The advantage you have by playing Brogna is that it's going to force Damon Wilkinson to come away from the basket, right? It pulls that help side defender away from the rim if he's making those 3, which is why you got to let him shoot it, because you're giving up an advantage. He's going to get, that's the sacrifice you're making if you're Merrimack, right? You got a 6'7" here. He's out there to score. He's out there to make you better offensively, and you can't do that without shooting.
Seiler, nice touch shot at the end of the shot clock.
Great patience offensively on that possession, never panicking. And listen, it's difficult when you have an injury and you haven't practiced to find your rhythm in a game, especially in a first half, is not something that's easy for these guys. And good to see Seiler get a couple baskets to go in here early in the second half. Started every single game last season, had 4 threes in games multiple times. So once he's fully healthy, he will be a force to be reckoned with, as that's the guy they got to get going to for Merrimack.
Yeah, that man Andres Marrero on the scoreboard, 7 points now. That's his first 3, though. Everything else had come from the free throw line.
You got a couple threes going down. Let's see if that gets the momentum going a little bit here if you are Merrimack. They kind of feed off that offense, right? Again, that's the shots you want. You live with that if you're Joe Gallo.
Shelton in transition. And Joe Gallo said, pull it, I like it. Just a little bit short. Good look, though, on the move for Merrimack.
I don't think he liked the result, but he's just, listen, you as a player, you hear that from your coach. You like a 3 in transition going up like that. That gives you the confidence to shoot the next one.
Wilkinson inside, able to spin away from pressure, but cannot finish. Gary, this is what he's all about, getting on the floor. All-conference honorable mention last year in the Summit. Preseason All-League as well. Real bulldog out there, Kalen Gary. And the South Dakota State basketball.
He's doing that with 2 bad ankles and a bandage on his wrist to cover up the cut. They got everybody on Merrimack blood.
Look at this.
Would you be shocked if I told you he was a football player in high school?
No, I would not be. Game-winning plays, toughness plays. It's what you need out of your leaders.
Possession will stay here with South Dakota State with 14 to shoot.
Now you see, too, offensively what the Jackrabbits are trying to do. They're trying to get Seiler in the middle of the zone. One of the better decision makers offensively on this team. He's going to play with great poise. What a pass.
Wilkinson able to keep his footing and corral that feed from the former high school quarterback, Kalen Gary.
Single wing? Single wing? You think he was running the single wing?
It was 9-man football, I can tell you that, at this Met High School. Dorsett on the inside. Another great feed from the top of the post. Both offenses starting to click a bit here at the start of the second.
How about the feed, too? It's a great backdoor. Yeah, great backdoor cut, but the pass, it's a high-level pass from the 4-man.
He is a skilled big out there. Gary. That's touched by Shelton.
Are we going to make it to the first media timeout without a foul being called? Is that actually going to happen? Is that going to happen? Because there was a lot of whistles in that first half.
You just jinxed it.
This is Jackson now. You have to take a shot in this second half after lighting it up in the opening 20. A pass a little too strong for Squires. Merrimack forcing the turnover. Kennedy! Strong up and through the challenge from Gary.
That was a different burst there. Just a hesitation crossover to get himself all the way to the basket. A talented freshman.
Moores. Kennedy right on cue, nearly forcing the turnover. 46-43. Merrimack chipping away a little at the South Dakota State lead. One possession basketball game here in Sioux Falls.
We all know the Players Era Festival has become the best field in all of college basketball. And you have the opportunity to win a VIP trip to the Players Era Festival in Las Vegas, thanks to our partners over at BetMGM. Here's how it works. Opt into the contest and start placing bets on any sport of at least $10 with plus 100 odds or greater. When you do that, you earn leaderboard points based on the bet's odds and the amount that you wager. The more you bet, the higher the odds, the more points that you earn. The top players in that contest are going to win a prize package that includes tickets to the games, withdrawable funds for travel, a 4-night stay at the luxurious Mandalay Bay here in Las Vegas, and more. For the full list of prizes, look in the description below. Make the tournament legendary with BetMGM. Vegas is calling. You going to answer?
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Both the Jackrabbits and the Warriors shooting over 50% in the opening 4 minutes of this half. And looking at turnovers and rebounding margin, could be a little surprising.
Yeah, you know, that's something that we highlighted off the top that Coach Gallo was saying. If we could win that battle, if we could win the turnover margin battle, we know it's going to be difficult for us to win that rebound margin. -7 currently on the glass, but the turnover margin's even as they get one here.
Yeah, not anymore now as Marrero picks off the pass. A lot of contact that time as Kennedy went up for the lay-in. Joe Gallo, I think good reason to be upset. There was a lot of both down low and up high that time as he was going up for the layup.
Officials knew they blew so many whistles in the first half. They've been trying to get that steak that we had at that restaurant last night, Rob.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what,
trying to get there before it closes.
The staff is bamboozled at the fact that wasn't a foul call.
Trey Buchanan off the mark from Zeep. Bamboozled. Here is Brogna.
He just can't find it. He's trying. You know,
looks good off the hand.
It really does. And as long as he's taking good ones, his coach is going to tell him to continue to shoot.
He's got 3 dimes tonight, Todd Brogna, but 0 for 5 from the floor, all of those behind the arc. Gary fading away over Brogna. Squires fighting inside. Foul on the floor against the redshirt freshman. Squires 6'10", out of Volga, South Dakota. Product of Sioux Valley High School, former South Dakota Player of the Year.
But again, that's the shot that if you're Merrimack, you want them taking. A fadeaway 2 on the baseline. You just have to come up with the rebound. But those are the shots that they're going to live with. No 3s, but difficult 2s.
I'll tell you what, the one thing that Merrimack does really well is kind of confuse you on that defensively. And they're at their best. When those defensive possessions for them turn into a kerfuffle, that's when they are at their best.
What's happening? What's happening over here? Dorsett off the floor. Oh, and Seiler slipped on the floor.
Butterfingers, right? It's never good.
It's been a long day for Rob Doster. 46-43.
3 games, and 3 more games you had to follow down in South Carolina. What a day of hoops.
It's been great, man.
Awesome.
It's been awesome.
Day of hoops.
And I will say
this is what we need. We need to create more excitement on the first day of college basketball. It needs to happen, especially on a Monday where you're going to compete with Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
it's got to happen.
I give a lot of credit to the coaches that are playing in this event. Like Joe Gallo's here from Boston, man. Shane Burker took his team up here from Flagstaff, Arizona. That's not an easy. Well, it's probably an easier trip to get there than for me coming from Philly because he's got a direct.
Rumor mill is Murray State's flight got canceled.
On the way back?
They got to stay another night.
Is that
more time at Buffalo Wild Wings?
I was going to say, do you think
Ryan's headed back?
Do you think it got
Round
canceled?
2.
Or do you think Ryan Miller's like, you know what, I want to see my family for a little while longer. Let's just tell everyone it got canceled.
My flight got canceled.
My flight got canceled. Yeah, okay, Ryan.
Yeah, Murray State at 85-77 over Omaha in the opener today from Sioux Falls. Eric Henderson, the former South Dakota State head coach, leading Drake to a 77-71 win over Northern Arizona. That was a great game, 71-71 with under a minute to play. Drake able to pull away in the ends. out in Rock Hill earlier today. Winthrop in the early morning hours defeating Queens 81-74. That was a great game too, right down to the wire. St. Bonaventure 69-63 over Bradley. High Point able to take care of business in the nightcap there, 97-71 over Furman.
Man, give credit to Merrimack here because they looked like they were about to get run out of the gym. 11-2 response after South Dakota State opened up a 9-point lead.
It's high ball game here. Hurdle down low trying to change that.
Good effort there from the freshman, Dylan Villette.
Great defense. Great defense. Staying solid, not picking up a foul.
Chance for the Warriors to pull in front now. Kennedy.
Swing it.
Villette going right at Squires.
You got to take one more dribble on that. Get to the other side of the rim.
And I'm not sure if you're tuning in if you can hear just the coaching staff from Merrimack telling these guys where to be in the zone.
Squires, the offensive rebounds off the Jackson miss.
You're telling me that Alex Squires is a freshman? Look at the size of that dude.
Red shirt freshman, but yes, a big kid.
They just build him different in South Dakota.
That's exactly right.
Sheesh.
Both his parents, David and Tara, South Dakota State grads from Volga, just down the road from Brookings here on the southeastern part of the state. Squires 21 points, 10 boards as a senior, a double-double as well as a junior. Really good player for the Sioux Valley Cossacks. Some really good team nicknames here in this part of the world.
That is good.
Caleb Delzell was playing for Upper Iowa last year. Can anybody tell me what the Upper Iowa mascot is?
I could not.
Matt, this is out of your world, out of your geography.
I'm a native Floridian here. Okay, spent 2 years in Chattanooga and 5 years in New England. So I haven't spent much time in this part of the country.
Woo, he is quick, man.
That is Kennedy.
Merrimack has a lead.
Kavere Kennedy pulling the Warriors up by one. Peacocks, by the way, the Upper Iowa Peacocks represented today by number 5 in white.
Kennedy's just got a different burst. You saw the one on the clip on the play in transition, and then you see it there. It's just, he's got that step where he can just explode by guys. I'm sure there's going to be some schools from Philadelphia, so many great programs in Philly that are scratching their head, wishing they recruited him a little bit harder.
How did this guy get away? Kennedy with 8 today, 3 boards, a couple of assists as well.
I mean, the amount of hands you see on every single catch trying to run offense again, just so difficult. They speed you up to take shots like that.
Another great defensive possession from Joe Gallo's Warriors, forcing the turnover. Are you sure you want to do that? I mean, it's your network, Rob, so you do you, buddy.
Left hand, good finish.
2 looks at it there.
Kazi couldn't connect on the second chance opportunity. Rare offensive rebound for the Warriors, but they can't capitalize. Just their second no board in this contest. And yet, it is Merrimack with the 1-point edge over one of the favorites in the Summit League. 48-47. Back to Sioux Falls in a moment.
At NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division II Women's Volleyball Championship coming to Sioux Falls, South Dakota this December. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansborough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
As one of the nation's strongest financial organizations, First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card have the strength to do good. We support nearly 700 organizations and nonprofits. Our employees give more than 30,000 volunteer hours annually. And we are continually seeking ways to make South Dakota an even better place to live. It's the Premier way. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card.
Trailed by 5 at the half. They have outscored the Jacks 15-9 over the first 8+ in the second. They forced 4 South Dakota State turnovers. Even though they're not winning that glass battle, they've started to ramp up the pressure on the defensive ends.
Yeah, we came out of that last time out saying that turnover battle was even. There's a reason Merrimack's been able to take the lead now. Now it's +3 in their favor. They're going to give up some offensive rebounds in this zone. You just have to make sure that every single one of those offensive rebounds, putback, is challenged. Come down with those 50-50 balls, those loose balls. But they've ramped up the pressure even more to create more turnovers and have the advantage in that category.
And they have committed none themselves in this second half. They've taken care of the basketball. The Warriors only shooting 35% in this half, but it hasn't mattered as much thanks to that defensive pressure.
Jaden Jackson just one shot in the second half.
What have you seen? What are they doing with Jaden? Is it more intentional to keep the ball out of his hands, Rob?
I think that they've just rotated a little bit better to keep him from getting the open looks. And
they've done some of this.
Yeah, and the pressure that they're putting on them has limited what South Dakota State's been able to do offensively.
Another turnover forced, their 5th now in the first 8.5 minutes of the second frame. Merrimack looking to extend the advantage. Kavere Kennedy, the true freshman from Philly, trying to pick his spot against Trey Buchanan and forcing the foul.
Back to your comment on Jackson defending him, I just think there's more awareness of where he is on the floor. They're aware. They know where he is. You make 5 threes in the first half, your sense of urgency's got to go up, and that's exactly what they're doing. They know exactly where he is at all times out on the floor.
Kennedy blocked by Squires. That's 6'10" length. Coming to the 4 in that situation. 11 seconds to shoot now for Merrimack. Ernest Shelton was an all-conference performer at Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania last year. Another turnover, though, as yet another player falls victim to the sideline.
Do you think that having the NBA three-point line out here is throwing them off?
I think it has an impact for sure, because obviously the college you have a little bit more space on the sideline. Not much, but you do have a little more space. I think it has an impact because no matter what you're running, there's threes to be had in the corner, but if you're in the corner on the catch, you're probably using the NBA three-point line almost as your mark of where you want to be.
This is the home of the Sioux Falls Skyforce, the G League team here. They talked to Dan Pisaccio, their head coach, during halftime of the second game today. Hurdle bumped into Casey Ubrakazi, committing the foul.
And listen, those are the plays, right? You know you're going to give up some offensive rebounds in there, but those are the ones just being disciplined in those types of situations to not pick up those kind of fouls.
Just the first on Ubrakazi. Dylan Villette has 4. The freshman big currently on the bench. Bragna, their starting center, has 3. He is out there on the floor. Moores, Jackson, catch and shoot. This one's off. The first miss from deep for Jackson today. Edmead in transition. Buchanan able to strip. Ty Dorsett now. Andres Marrero on the lay-in.
Coach Gallo wasn't very happy. I'm sure you could have heard his comments on the last turnover, just playing a little bit too fast, but that's exactly what Merrimack wants to do. Get the stop, get the turnover, get out on the break, and get the easy basket. These boys came to play out here in South Dakota.
Would you be surprised to find out that the Field of 68 is home to more than 35 podcasts? More than 25 team-specific podcasts that are hosted by the people that know what fans want the most. The Goodman and Humble podcast, the DTF podcast, the A10 Insider podcast, and the Mountain West podcast. But wait, there's even more. The Field of 68 will be launching the ACC Insider podcast this year. Subscribe to this channel and come along for the ride.
Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona. The best college town in Arizona that has 4 seasons, pine trees, and a magnificent mountain view. Explore breathtaking trails, immerse yourself in a vibrant arts and culture scene, and connect with a community that's as dynamic as you are. Come visit the heart of Northern Arizona and experience the bold spirit of NAU, where adventure meets the extraordinary. That's NAU.
For over 75 years, Merrimack has been on the rise. Innovating, growing, serving, and winning with unstoppable momentum. Join us and we'll shape the future together. Together we can. Together we will. Together we rise.
10:06 to go in regulation. Merrimack pushing back in the second half, 50-47 over South Dakota State.
Yeah, you think about what they're doing defensively. South Dakota State just 9 points total in the second half. They've got to find something, find some kind of rhythm against this zone, but Merrimack is doing a great job. They know at all times where Jaden Jackson is out there on the floor. They're shading to him, and he got off a clean look a couple possessions ago, but he's been the focal point for sure, and a reason that the Jackrabbits just 9 points, him not being able to find his rhythm offensively.
They've been really good at forcing the ball into the high post, and that's where they want it. They want you to have the ball in the high post. That is what the defense is designed to do. And you could hear them. I don't know if it's coming through on the broadcast, but whenever they get the ball into the high post, you hear, yes, yes, yes.
Jackson he just has 2 shots this half, Jaden Jackson. He's missed them both after 17 points in the opening 20. Moore's blocked inside. Ugakazi getting up. SDSU 4 for 15 now from the floor. That's 27%. And they've turned it over 6 times, as many as they had in the entire opening 20 minutes.
I love the play call coming out of the timeout, though.
Gary, the long 3, well off the mark.
Just a little simple action with cross screen. Morse comes on the low side. Seemed like it caught Merrimack a little bit off guard, but you got to be able to go up and finish that play.
The recovery effort of Ty Dorsett on that play.
Through the roof.
That's what Merrimack is like. These guys fly around. They cover so much ground in the zone.
Dorsett's spin and Couture finishing inside. Oh, now he's hurt. Everything happened here. Jackson flying into the stands as well. Dorsett is down, cramping up underneath the opposite basket.
Oh, no.
It's just a little bit the effort play. You want to make sure he's okay over there on the sideline, too. The effort play of these guys flying over. Listen, it's the first game of the season, but it means something. These teams have been competing. Somebody's going home with a loss, and neither one of these teams wants that. These guys are giving their best efforts out there for sure.
Dorsett has come off. You see Edmead going to the bench as well. Looked like Ty Dorsett just had a cramp there. Jackson, who flew over into the seats, appears to be okay. He bumped into a young fan who looks like he's all right as well, just getting some attention off on the side of the court.
Young fan putting his body on the line. Took
I
a
love
charge,
it.
man.
Took a charge.
Seiler. Moores. Back to Seiler in the corner. The contested three. Joe Seiler still just 4 points tonight.
Shot, every single pass is contested.
That would have been something. Ernest Shelton, a high flyer going up for that one. Couldn't complete the alley-oop. Merrimack will retain possession, though.
But the elevation.
Ernest Shelton, man, you got to finish that one. Come on, like, you got a chance to get on a
Get on
highlight
the
reel.
Highlight reel.
Casey Uguakazi could not hang on along the sideline.
Coach Gallo telling him, please just catch the ball with two hands. Catch
There's
the
a big
ball with
possession
two
here, man.
hands.
Crowd starting to get up, crowd starting to make a little bit of noise here.
South Dakota State's been stuck on 47 for a while, trailing by 5 now. Here is Jackson, the offensive star in the first half. Gary, one of the captains, trying to shake free. 5 to shoot. Jackson, he'll have to heave. Another lockdown defensive possession from the Warriors.
Coach Gallo with the fist pump out there. He loved that possession. Ball never got to the middle of the zone. Hands on every single catch, forces the shot clock violation. That is a textbook defensive possession for Merrimack.
Kennedy. Marrero. Wilkinson on the defensive glass. And a bad look that time from Andres Marrero. Jackson.
He's looking for it now.
He really is.
Yeah, he's hunting for it.
Joe Seiler with the offensive rebound after Wilkinson had tipped it out. Damon Wilkinson pounding inside. Moore's on the offensive glass, and now the foul comes.
It is a brouhaha in the paint right now, McCall.
They're letting him play here in this second half. 7:40 to go in the seconds. Merrimack maintaining this 5-point advantage over the hometown Jacks here in Sioux Falls.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make $1,500 first bet offer today.
If you have a question, I'll take the time.
I love being a pharmacist at Lewis Drug because I love helping people.
If you have a question, any question, I'll take the time to answer it.
If you have a question, any question, I'll take the time to answer it.
I'm Mark Griffin, president of Lewis Drug. For 81 years, Lewis Drug has been helping families stay healthy and enjoy life. If you ever to Lewis Drug.
South Dakota State knew this was going to be a difficult challenge going up against this Merrimack side, known for their zone, known for their aggressive defense. They have really locked up the Jacks in the second half, Rob.
Yeah, the way that they've been moving defensively, South Dakota State offense has slowly but surely moved it backwards from where they're able to start it. It feels like as Merrimack has gotten going a little bit, as they can fly around a little bit more, it's in the heads of South Dakota State now. And that's half the battle of dealing with Merrimack.
That's exactly what half the battle is. You think about this, South Dakota State, really the only way that they're scoring, they've been stuck on 47 for a while, just 9 points in the second half, but the only way they're scoring is off offensive rebounds. And Coach Peterson said it yesterday. You can't play and try to think so much playing against the zone. Sometimes you just got to go out there and react.
They are 4 for 20, South Dakota State is, in this half. 0 for 7 from behind the arc after they made 5 threes in the opening 20. Jack's trying to chip away from the free throw line now. Matthew Moores able to connect on both. Moores, the redshirt senior from Yankton, now in double figures, joining Jackson and Wilkinson with 10. One possession ball game now. 7:30 to go in the seconds here from Sioux Falls. Final game of the Field of 68 opening day showcase. Nearly the and one opportunity for the freshman Kavere Kennedy.
Boy, this guy has got a different burst. That's a set play to get him driving to his right hand. You watch here, just catches, rips, get to all the way down the lane. He wanted that one to go in for the and one.
He is so good at getting into the paint and getting by his guy. What's probably the most impressive thing about him is he came in as a freshman, right? And they got a fifth-year guy on this roster named Malik Mead, who was a rotation guy for him last year, a spark plug off the bench that felt like he was in a spot where he was coming in to start. Like, you paid your dues, you get your spot. And Kavere Kennedy came in, and the way that Gallo phrased it was almost like a QB competition, right, in the offseason.
That's right.
And Kavere Kennedy came in, earned the starting point guard spot,
won the
and
job.
we can see why, man. He won the job. He's been everywhere defensively. He's getting the paint touch whenever he wants. You know, if he ever adds the ability to shoot, he probably won't be at Merrimack for very long.
You got to think, too, based on what we've seen today and what we heard from Coach Gallo, this guy is got to be in the running, or will be at the end of the season. Tough move there, but will be at the end of the season. Freshman of the year in the MAC.
Matthew Moore is going right back to the free throw line.
I mean, that's what Matthew Morris does so well, man. He has a knack for being able to find space, whether it's cutting to the basket, getting to the offensive glass. And he's big and he's strong. I don't know if it's just the tights that he has on, but his calves look like Christmas hams, right? Am I wrong?
Like Christmas hams?
He's never missed leg day.
Did you miss leg day this morning?
No, I was on the elliptical today, man.
Okay.
I was on the elliptical and I walked in the gym.
And somehow, when I got there, the Field of 68 marathon was on every single TV in the workout room. I'm talking ellipticals, treadmills, everywhere. Rob Doster.
Got to get those views.
What an assist.
Got to get those views.
No stone left unturned when it comes to this man. Moore's now 12 points, 7 boards. Brogna looking for his first today. Seiler fighting for that rebound. Marrero doing just enough to put the sophomore guard off it. Possession will stay with the Warriors.
You know what I love? You know what I love about that? Two guys after Brogna missed that shot went back and just gave him a high five and said, "Keep shooting it."
He's going to make one because it looks good coming off his hand. He's going to make one of them.
Marrero cannot connect this time. Tough shot fading off into the crowd on the inbounds. SDSU trying to creep a little closer. 6.5 to go. Gary, ill-advised. Brogna was there.
And what an outlet pass.
Look at Kennedy slicing in. Another call that this Merrimack staff wanted. A lot of contact as Kennedy made his way to the rim.
We got to get Gallo a headset, man.
Can we get him mic'd up? Yeah. Is there a way to get him a microphone? Can we get him mic'd up? That would be amazing.
Seiler getting free. That's a tough shot. 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
But you live with that one. That's the shot that you want opponents to take when you are Merrimack, and they're going to make a certain amount of them. You got to make more on your end.
Jackrabbits now down by 1. Crowd wanted the double dribble that time. Kennedy.
He's had a couple. He's getting down. Rob, you said it. He's so good at getting in the lane. As Jackson gets his team back in front. That's exactly what Coach Peterson wants to see.
Jaden Jackson's first bucket of this second half. Now Brogna 0 for 7 now for Todd Brogna from behind the arc. 55-54. Gary. Kalen Gary! Timeout, Merrimack. This crowd on their feet. Gary has been 0 for 5 from deep until that bucket. Just 4 points tonight. So banged up coming into this game. A clutch shot here in front of the home crowd.
You would never know that he was 0 for 5. This is a tough shot. Going to his left hand, takes the one dribble, contested three.
And look, for being honest, that's not a good shot.
No.
22 seconds into the shot clock.
With the game where it is.
And I'll tell you what, with the way that game was going, as soon as he let that thing go, yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's hitting.
He knew it.
He knew it too.
He knew it.
He knew it. And he has not played well tonight. 1 for 6 from the floor, first shot that he's made. But that was a big one. That is what you rely on for your veteran.
And Brogna got another great look over here. You can't draw it up any better for him. He's just hasn't been able to get one to go down. They will. He's too good of a shooter. He's proven that he can make shots. But that's a huge momentum swing. When you make that one down there and you miss this one down here, it's just changes the complexion of the game.
All you need to know about it is right now Todd Brogna is 0 for 7. He's not out of the game. He's on the bench. He's coming back in here. Those are the shots that Joe Gallo wants. And that's what you want as a player, is to have a confidence. Your coach have confidence to say, you're 0 for 7. Shoot that next one too, though. Get that one up, because we need you to start hitting.
They have continued to have a response. We'll see how they are now. Find themselves down 4. They've been responding all game. Just when you think, and Rob, you said it earlier in the half, you thought the Jackrabbits were going to pull away, kind of blow this thing a little bit open. Merrimack responded. Not only respond, they took the lead. They had the lead. Their defense was ramped up. They were getting turnovers, creating turnovers. Interested to see their response in this situation.
South Dakota State currently on an 11-2 run. They had the advantage at the break by 5. They led by as many as 9 early in the second. Merrimack punched right back and has really been in control in this second half until this little stretch by the Jacks. How does Kennedy and the Merrimack Warriors respond now? Dorsett, who's been the offense for this team. Oh!
Let's go. Hey, and I'll tell you what, our man sitting courtside over there,
he's back.
The charge.
He's got the ice on the head.
As soon as South Dakota State made the run and started getting noisy, he said, Dad, I got to get back out there. Ice on the head. He's a gamer. He's ready.
Ty Dorsett, by the way, now 19 points. Warriors back within 1. Gary, back-to-back triples for Kalen Gary. Shelton now at the other ends. Nearly an and one that time.
If you go back to the offensive possessions where South Dakota State was able to take the lead away, go to Merrimack's offensive possessions in that sequence. 2 missed layups, 2 missed threes, changed the momentum of the game.
Impressive stuff from Kalen Gary, man. He has not been good, but you see him here in rhythm this time. Lets it fly. Bottoms.
Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansborough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming.
That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that.
What a great way to finish off a fantastic day of basketball here on opening day of the college season. We've had some great games here in Sioux Falls, some fantastic ones out in Rock Hill, South Carolina. 61-57, South Dakota State and Merrimack. Anybody's game with 4 minutes to go.
Anybody's game for sure. Coming out of that last meeting, the under-8 timeout, you're looking at a Jackrabbit team that had struggled offensively. Just 9 points in the second half. They've had 14 points over the last 3 minutes. A lot of it has to do, Gary's found his stroke from behind the three-point line.
That's big for them, man, because Gary and Seiler have really struggled today. Really struggled. But your veterans, your leaders, when you need a bucket out of them, doesn't matter if they got one sore ankle, two sore ankles, a wrist that had to get a bandage put on it, they're going to make those big shots and step up for you in those big moments. Exactly what Kaylin Gary did. Free throws are free, Coach.
Ernest Shelton here at the free throw line, who had been perfect until that miss. Now 7 for 8 from the stripe. He's got 10 points this evening. Able to get 1 of 2 and pull the Warriors back within 3. 61-58. Here's Jackson. 19 points. Knifing to the lane. Oh, that was great defense by Brogna. Jackson did not care.
They've done a really good job adjusting at screening, swinging the ball so that you're lined up against the guy at the top of the zone on the outside, so the help is on the inside, and screening the outside of the top of that zone. They've gotten a couple layups out of that.
Screening the outside and then allows Jackson to get down the lane, but you want to talk about a difficult finish. Going to your left hand, absorbing that contact. He has had himself a game.
From a guy that's supposed to be just a shooter.
Just a shooter. Doesn't look like it at all.
Tell you what, Todd's got to shoot that one, man. That's the problem when you miss a couple, it starts getting in your head.
When you're 0 for 7, you hesitate and you shuffle the feet and you turn it over. Jackrabbits up by 5. Hurdle, Squires. Basket in the foul for Alex Squires.
See it again. First of all, what a pass on the inside. That's coming from the wing to find his man. But Rob, you had mentioned it, just that screen, pulling the big away from the basket, setting a ball screen. This time they flipped it. There was no angle to drive, but now you're putting Merrimack in a little more of rotational situations in that zone where not only are there more driving angles, but that pass you just saw from the wing was wide open.
7-point lead now for South Dakota State. This is Dorsett, blocked by Squires. Dorsett able to keep it alive. Kennedy, Shelton, in and out. Kennedy, though, the offensive rebounds. And now Hurdle just takes it away, and now a jump ball called. Possession will stay with the Warriors here. You can tell what this pro Jackrabbit crowd thinks about that.
This is an important possession, you feel like, for Merrimack, too. First of all, a great elevation by Kennedy to go up there and get that rebound, but it's a 7-point game with 2.5 minutes. You've struggled to find a basket. See if they can come up with something here.
Brogna in and out.
They dialed up the play for him, too. They called a set for him to get a 3 in the corner. And he got another good look, in and out.
He's going to have some big games this year, Todd Brogna. Just tonight has not been his night.
Not much you can do about that one, man.
The ball coach did his job. He dialed up the play.
Merrimack now 7 for 27 from behind the arc. Brogna 0 for 8 from downtown. Jackson's career night continues. 22 points for the sophomore.
You know, if South Dakota State's able to hold on and win this game, Coach Gallo's going to go back and watch this film, and he's going to show his team the sequence where they missed 2 wide open threes and 2 layups. That's when the Jackrabbits took this game over. Guys, this is the margin of error of winning and losing.
Kennedy. Jackson hustling.
Matt, to me, it's the layups more than the threes, because you have to live with the variance of shooting threes. Right? Some nights they're not going to go down. You got to make your layups. You got to finish at the rim. Those are ones. Look, Kaveri Kennedy's a freshman. He's gonna get better. But those are the moments where, if you're going to be an all-league guy, if you're going to be on a team that's going to win a league championship, those are the ones that got to go down. And he'll get there. I fully believe that.
Joint largest lead of the night as Kennedy sees that shot blocked by Moores at the rim.
And those are the conversations you'll have after the game. Guys, the margin for error in winning and losing is so small. A missed offensive rebound, a missed 50-50 ball, a missed layup, those are the plays you have to have to be able to win and win big.
Yeah,
you know, Rob, winning is hard.
Winning is hard. Some say that. Kaveri Kennedy, strong debut for him. 10 points tonight, 3 boards, a couple of assists. Showed that great burst. His team needs a stop here, trailing by 9. South Dakota State trying to put this game away. Jackson. Brogdon with the block. Matthew Moores with the emphatic swat on Shelton.
And Moores has got to be smarter there. He's getting a little bit chippy. Makes a great defensive effort. Great block on this play. You just got to go back to huddle up with your team. You don't need to taunt. You don't need to say anything. You've got a 9-point lead. Now there's a technical foul. You can see he turned around. There was something said. There's no question about it. The technical foul was warranted. At this point in the game, you just have to be smarter.
I imagine that's part of what Brian Peterson is relaying to his team.
And listen, I think sometimes officials, if a guy flexes or shows something or shows a level of emotion after a play like that, I don't think technical fouls should be given out. But when you turn around and you go right to taunting, you know it's coming, because this is how they're going to call it. You just got to be smarter in those situations.
You look right at him and say something. That's when you're going to get hit, because that's the kind of thing someone's going to react to. You're expecting the flex, right? But if you say something right to somebody's face, that's when you get the reaction that leads to the extracurriculars.
There's no question about it. And if Merrimack's able to score here, it's a 2-possession game.
Edmeade surrounded inside. Shelton for 3. Ernest Shelton. 5-point basketball game. Warriors not done, not by a long shot here. They've traveled 1,500 miles from Boston to the plains of South Dakota. Here's Moores inside. Tough take over Brogdon. Moores with 14 now to go along with 8 rebounds. Under a minute to go. Off balance, Andres Marrero able to get that to drop. Joe Gallo's going to take a timeout, down by 5.
He's going to set up his defense here. You're going to see a lot of pressure, I would think, in the full court. See if you can't create another turnover. Just a 2-possession game. Got the quick 2. Burned the timeout. He's going to talk to his team about both things. What are we doing here defensively? And when we get a stop, it's not if, it's when we get a stop. This is what we're running coming down the floor.
And I think you got to start extending that defense too. You can't be playing in the half court. You can't have a 30-second possession here for South Dakota State. You got to go force a turnover. You got to go make a play.
And in the other timeout, Coach Peterson, you're talking about press offense, because that's what you're expecting coming here. You're expecting full court pressure. What are we running? 1, to get the ball in bounds, and once the ball comes in bounds, do I know where my outlets are when the trap comes? Is there someone I could throw the basketball to behind me? Is it up the sideline or is it in the middle of the floor? That's what he's got to be talking to his team about.
South Dakota State does have 14 turnovers. Only 2, though, in the last 10 minutes. They've done a much better job taking care of the basketball down the stretch. The Warriors are going to put that to the test, though, now. 5-point basketball game here in Sioux Falls. South Dakota State from the Summit League. Merrimack from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, to give it its full name. Trying to head back to the Bay State with the victory. Joe Seiler to inbounds.
Old Diamond. Don't want to pick the basketball up right at half court. Good job executing.
Squires, Moores. Matthew Moores has been the go-to guy down the stretch. Marrero fouled on his way to the rim.
And that's exactly what you wanted if you were South Dakota State. Patient, move the ball, attack the press, and you got a layup out of it.
Seiler committed the personal 1-and-1 now for Marrero. Been a tough shooting night for Andres from behind the arc, just 1 of 5. He's in double figures, though, in his Merrimack debut, 11 points. But he cannot hit the front ends. Good hustle by Jackson. Marrero nearly creating the turnover, but then the foul comes.
I'll say this about this Merrimack team. Can you imagine on a 1-day prep or a 2-day prep trying to get ready to play against this defense? Now, they're road warriors. They got 8 out of their first 9 on the road, but you know who their next game is against? This Auburn Tigers team, who went into overtime tonight with Bethune-Cookman. They got to turn around and play against this defense and how hard this defense plays to prepare against them. This is not an easy prep for any of these teams.
Let's see what you got, Stephen Pearl. Let's see what you got, man.
Jackson missing the front end, but gets his own rebounds. Warriors keeping the pressure on. Now the foul comes.
Say this.
Those are the ones that are going to make you have to take the Maylocks the next morning, Coach.
Yeah, South Dakota State, though, it was not going well offensively. With 7 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the second half of this game, they had 9 points. They could find nothing, but they kept playing. They kept playing. They didn't lose their composure. They didn't lose their poise, and they're going to walk out of here with a victory.
We got some veteran guys on this team, man. They've been through battles. They've been through some wars.
The 2 3-pointers made by the young man at the free throw line tonight, a huge part of this basketball game.
And let's give a shout out to Matthew Morris too, because Jaden Jackson is a guy that's going to get the hype because of the threes that he made and the numbers that he put up. Matthew Morris, 16 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He made a huge difference in this game. I don't think South Dakota State wins without him.
Defensive plays. You're exactly right, Rob. He was a force to be reckoned with.
Foul here, though, on Luke Hurdle. Leaves the door open just a touch. A 9-point ball game. Merrimack with not a lot of possessions left. Marrero at the free throw line.
Coach Peterson's got to be saying, guys, we have to close this out. We can't put them to the free throw line. Putting a team to the free throw line that's down just 3 possessions, it stops the clock and it allows them to set their defense, set their press defense up. Make sure you get the ball in bounds first. Take care of it. You know a foul's coming.
That man is 18 seconds away from his first victory as a head coach at the D1 level. Marrero does get both free throws. 7-point game. Seiler, and there's the bump from Shelton. Joe Seiler, an excellent free throw shooter last year, 86% from the line. This, by the way, the first of 2 games that South Dakota State will play in this building this year. They'll take on the Wyoming Cowboys coming up in December at the Pentagon.
Have you seen the ice cream they serve at the Pentagon? Have you seen these ice cream cones that people keep walking past us? I mean, I know we got some food earlier in the day, but I don't know if those ice creams, The shops are going to be open once we finish our broadcast here, but it is a lot of ice cream you get in one cone.
What do you think Doster just left?
That's exactly right. Just getting a head start on that thing.
He's a smart man. Seiler gets them both. Again, Joe Seiler, better days ahead for him. Banged up coming in. He was a question mark to play even tonight. 8 points, though, 4 rebounds and limited action. Marrero, the deep three. It's been that kind of night from distance for Merrimack.
You said it about Seiler, too. Give those guys credit for coming out here and playing in their first game, both playing injured, wanting to be a part of this. That's toughness, and that's what you want to see out of those guys.
South Dakota State, for the second year in a row, able to get the job done in the Field of 68 opening day showcase from Sioux Falls. It ends up being a 9-point victory over Merrimack, 75-66. Brian Peterson's first game in charge ends in a win.
It was really coming out of that under 8 timeout where Coach was telling his team in that timeout, we've got to continue to stick to the game plan. We've got to play composed. Just 9 points in the first 12 minutes of the second half. Their response coming out of that timeout was ultimately the difference in the game.
Really gritty, impressive performance. Jaden Jackson with 23 points. Bit of a coming out party for the sophomore point guard. Matthew Moores with 16. Again, that great all-around game that Rob was talking about. 19 for Ty Dorsett in a losing effort for Merrimack. 13 for Ernest Shelton. And that team's going to be heard from in the Metro this season. Rob Doster, though, standing by right now with the victorious head coach, Brian Peterson.
Joined now by South Dakota State head coach Brian Peterson off of a win over a Merrimack team where I feel like you learned a little bit about your team tonight.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we knew that our team was very competitive. We knew we were connected. We knew we were gritty. We haven't been put in a lot of adversity. And so I say all those things. I didn't know how we would respond. And I thought in the second half when things weren't great for us, our group just showed those things and through action and pulled out a big-time win in the second half.
It helps when you got veterans like Matthew Moores and Kalen Gary and Joe Seiler, even Jaden Jackson, guys that have played together and been through battles together.
Yeah, no. Continuity in college basketball is huge. We're very thankful and grateful that those young men decided to stay Jackrabbits, and it showed up tonight. It really did. Honestly, like Matt Moores, Kalen Gary, Jaden Jackson, those guys, and then Joe as well too, but like they really, really willed us in the second half, which was pretty special to see.
All right, I need you to be honest with me on this one. 24 seconds on the shot clock. You got battle back. It's 55-54. You got a 1-point lead. Kalen Gary, who was 0 for 5 on the night, takes about a 24-footer right there in front of you. What are you saying? Are you saying shoot that thing, or are you saying, Kalen, what are you doing? Be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You know, at the moment, I was like, but you know, at the same time, we always talk about time, score, and flow, and we were flowing right there. We had a 1-point lead. We had just scored a couple buckets, so you know, KG's earned that right to take that shot, and you know, obviously, we're very happy they went in.
You guys are 2-0 now in the Field of 68 opening day showcase and opening day marathon here. Is this like a permanent invite that you're gonna be here from now on?
As long as it's at the Pentagon, as long as obviously you guys invite us, it's safe to say that we'll have to be here. Because obviously, shout out to Jackrabbit Nation, the Sioux Falls fan base, and everybody that came down for Brookings. We're really thankful for them coming. It was a lot of fun. We didn't give them a lot to cheer about for moments there, but they really helped us out in the second half. So a lot of fun and love playing in this event.
First one under your belt. Feel good to get that monkey off your back?
Yeah, I don't know about monkey off my back, but just, you know, I'm just really happy for our entire program, our staff, our team, our returners in particular. And I mean, obviously it feels really good, but you know, it's just one. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do.
Congratulations, Ben.
Thank you.
Brian Peterson, big victory for him in this Jackrabbit side. A lot of new faces on this team, but a lot of returners as well. Good showing for them. Able to overcome a lot of adversity in that difficult zone defense that was tenacious throughout. SDSU played some pretty good defense in that second half. Merrimack shooting just 29% from the floor after the break.
Yeah, they really did. And again, I keep pointing back to it, but that under 8 timeout, and Coach just alluded to it, just his veterans, the poise that they played with coming down the stretch, the plays that they made, the shot that Gary hit in front of the bench to change the momentum of the game. But give Merrimack team a lot of credit too. They kept fighting, kept continuing to battle and play, and that's a team when they watch them play on film. I know they got the Auburn Tigers coming up. You're going to be concerned going into that game because they're going to win a lot of basketball games this year.
And we said coming in, Merrimack wanted the game in the 60s. SDSU got to 75, enough in the end to get the job done against the team from Boston. Matt McCall, this has been a blast all day, man. 3 awesome basketball games hanging with you and Rob. it's special to get to kick off college basketball like this.
It's been a blast. Great basketball, great games. This is what we got to do, create more excitement. Credit to Field of 68 for doing it. You're exactly right. Been a lot of fun today.
South Dakota State finishes off the Field of 68 opening day marathon with a 9-point victory, 75-66 over Merrimack. On behalf of Rob Doster and Matt McCall, Travis Wagaman, our producer, Trevor Valesi, Connor Henrik, the entire Field of 68 team, I'm Alex Steiner. Thank you for watching. Good night from Sioux Falls.